What Nostradamus predicted has just begun, and everyone is scared soon. We will see a pope replaced by a younger successor, while a lethal virus, dormant for 40,000 years, will emerge and cause widespread deaths. More than 100,000 people could lose their lives, and large areas of these countries will become uninhabitable. The population of these regions will have to ration food extremely to survive, facing a famine so terrible that people will resort to cannibalism. We will face even more destructive climate disasters than we have seen before. A gigantic force will push the oceans towards cities, resulting in devastating tsunamis that will destroy homes and cause the loss of hundreds of lives. A fire on a ship, plague, captivity, and a celestial stone that will fall to the earth, followed by a great fire, will complete the apocalyptic scenario. When the sun embraces the head of the shining sea, the live fish of the Black Sea will almost cook themselves. From heaven will come a great king of terror. The king of the islands will be forced to abdicate, and after 7 months of a great war, people will die due to evil deeds. This is what happens when humans try to be gods, creating beings in our image that are not made of flesh and that come to dominate the world. Michel de Nostradamus, known as Nostradamus, born in France in 1503, was a unique and distinct figure of his time. He rose to prominence as a seer, doctor, and astrologer during the 16th century, gaining fame for his incredible predictions about the future. His prophecies, often shocking, frightening, mysterious, and intriguing, attracted the attention of many, making his name remembered for centuries. Nostradamus gathered all his predictions in an enigmatic book called Les Prophéties, published in 1555, which became famous for containing hundreds of prophecies that still intrigue millions of people today. Today, we're going to explore 20 Nostradamus predictions that could soon come true. If you like videos like this and haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button right below the video. So that you can more quickly and easily understand all these signs, we are facing difficult times in which prophecies are being fulfilled, but many do not realize what is happening around the world. For this reason, I decided to offer a gift to all channel subscribers, a digital ebook, The Secret Behind the Holy Bible, so you can download it immediately. The link is in the first pinned comment. In this book, I reveal all the secrets of biblical prophecies that will shock you. Don't waste time. Click on the first pinned comment because we only have a few units available and it will soon be taken down. Prediction number 20. Nostradamus predicted a future with dry, barren lands, dramatic floods, waves of pestilence, famine, tsunamis, and more. He mentioned that the arid land would become even drier and that great floods would occur. Although it did not specify the locations of these catastrophes, it was more detailed about the devastating tsunamis. Nostradamus warned of a great famine due to waves of plagues, which could be interpreted as tsunamis that would destroy agriculture, causing disease and widespread famine. Given the accuracy of their previous predictions, it is possible that we will face even more destructive climate disasters. Prediction number 19. Nostradamus also made several alarming predictions about the future of technology and warfare. He imagined a world where advanced weapons and cyber attacks would wreak havoc and plunge nations into chaos. These events could lead to a conflict between humans and machines, creating a worrying scenario for the future. Although these predictions have not yet come to fruition, they act as a sobering reminder of the possible consequences of unbridled technological advancement. With technology evolving rapidly, it is crucial to heed these warnings and proceed with extreme caution. Prediction number 18. One of the most unpredictable natural disasters is earthquakes, whose effects can range from a slight tremor to a gigantic force that pushes the oceans towards cities. Nostradamus predicted a cataclysmic earthquake off the coast of Japan that would trigger a devastating tsunami, resulting in the destruction of homes and the loss of hundreds of lives. Japan's meteorological agency reports that the region experiences multiple frequent earthquakes, one of which had a magnitude of 7.6, with waves that sometimes reach tens of meters high. The recent earthquake and tsunami warnings issued by authorities reflect the possible accuracy of Nostradamus's prediction about this event. Prediction number 17. In recent years, China's growing global influence has raised concerns among geopolitical experts. China's rise as a world power has led many to speculate about the possibility of a confrontation. Such speculation is fueled by the history of Chinese military power in regions such as the South China Sea and Taiwan, often demonstrated through its warships. Nostradamus made predictions that resemble this current situation, writing about a battle and a naval conflict, indicating the possibility of military confrontations at sea. Nostradamus described a scenario where the red opponent, a reference to communist China, would turn pale with fear, instilling terror in the Great Ocean, possibly referring to the Indian Ocean. Prediction number 16. In the field of psychic predictions, Nostradamus stated that humans would have the opportunity to make contact with extraterrestrial beings. However, contrary to popular fears of a frightening invasion, he suggested that this contact will happen through encrypted signals picked up by a network of telescopes, indicating a potentially peaceful form of communication. The idea of communicating with extraterrestrial beings has always fascinated the human imagination, and advances in technology can bring us closer to this possibility. Communicating with beings from other planets could bring us new knowledge about science, technology, and even philosophical questions about life beyond Earth. However, this interaction could also trigger a galactic war or at least result in an invasion by extraterrestrial beings. Prediction number 15. In one of his predictions, Nostradamus anticipated that, due to age, a pope would be replaced by a younger successor. He wrote that, after the death of a very elderly pontiff, a Roman of good age would take over the role. Furthermore, he warned that this new leader would weaken his position and occupy the position for a long period. The exact meaning of weaken remains open to interpretation, raising questions about whether the Church's influence will wane or whether a significant scandal could emerge. Pope Francis has recently faced health problems, highlighting the possible need for a successor soon. The interpretation of this prediction is still uncertain, which leaves room for speculation about the actions and impact of the new pope during his term. Prediction number 14. Nostradamus made surprising claims about a disaster involving the collision of asteroids. Due to the astrological basis of his 942 poetic quatrains in Les Prophéties, it is difficult to determine exact dates. However, Nostradamus described a celestial stone that would fall to the earth, followed by a great fire. Some interpret this fire as a reference to a climate disaster, such as a devastating forest fire. Nostradamus is not the only one to suggest the possibility of an asteroid hitting Earth. Craig Hamilton Parker, known as the new Nostradamus, also spoke about the dangers of such an event. However, Parker believes that although the threat of an impact exists, it does not necessarily mean the end of the world. Prediction number 13. Nostradamus predicted that humanity would be struck by several diseases. He mentioned a great calamity that would affect America and Lombardy, Italy. The excerpt also talks about a ship fire, the plague, captivity, and the specific astrological positions of Mercury in Sagittarius and Saturn as a warning. The references to plague and captivity align with the current global situation, but other elements of the text also appear to correlate. Interestingly, Mercury's entry into Sagittarius in December 2019 coincided with the first outbreak of the pandemic, while Saturn's transition into Aquarius coincided with New York City's lockdown in March. However, the prediction may cover an event that is yet to come. Nostradamus also talked about a deadly virus that had been latent for 40,000 years, and that, with the melting of glaciers, would be released, causing widespread deaths. Prediction number 12. Nostradamus predicted a global economic disaster. In one of his quatrains, he wrote that the price of wheat would rise so much that man would resort to cannibalism. Indeed, the world faces regular economic challenges. The cost of living crisis puts pressure on individuals and families, making it difficult for some to cover even their basic needs. Nostradamus's description of people resorting to cannibalism due to the high price of wheat seems unlikely in the current context, but it is a reminder of how frightening the thought of great economic upheaval can be. Prediction number 11. Recent claims suggest that Nostradamus predicted a catastrophic volcanic eruption in Yellowstone. His predictions collected in the book Les Prophéties fascinate theorists who dedicate time to interpret and analyze his writings. According to these theorists, Nostradamus foresaw a devastating event with volcanic fire and a worldwide earthquake that would occur in the New City. Nostradamus's followers believe that his verses mention a massive earthquake that would specifically affect the western area of the New City, with global repercussions. In the event that Yellowstone experiences a volcanic eruption, it is suggested that sulfur dioxide emissions could pose a significant threat. Furthermore, more than 100,000 people could lose their lives, and large parts of the United States would become uninhabitable. Before continuing the video, an important message: don't forget to get your copy of our book. It's in the first pinned comment of this video. Prediction number 10. In February 2024, Buckingham Palace announced that British King Charles had been diagnosed with cancer. The 75-year-old monarch would temporarily step away from his public duties to undergo treatment. Nostradamus's predictions have come to the fore again, especially with regard to possible unrest within the royal family. According to Nostradamus, it was predicted that the king could abdicate and that Prince Harry could ascend to the throne. He wrote that the king of the islands would be forced to abdicate and would be replaced by someone who did not possess the typical qualities of a monarch. Mario Reading, a British author who has extensively studied Nostradamus's predictions, also pointed to this possibility. It is worth noting that Nostradamus made several predictions about British royalty that turned out to be accurate, including the unexpected death of Queen Elizabeth in 2022. Prediction number 9. Nostradamus predicted the arrival of major environmental shocks that would capture humanity's attention. In one of his writings, he sketched a vision of immense destruction, where the intensity of the sun would scorch the surface of the sea, and the living fish of the Black Sea would almost cook themselves. The cities of Rhodes and Genoa would be described as half-starved, watching as the local population cut back on their own rations to survive. These cryptic verses paint a vivid picture of a catastrophic event, highlighting the intensification of global warming and its devastating consequences on both the environment and human societies. The phrase, "live fish almost cook themselves," is pretty straightforward. Prediction number 8. Nostradamus suggested that through scientific progress and the development of mechanical organs, human lifespan could be significantly extended, reaching 150 to 170 years. As we continue to advance scientifically and technologically, it seems possible that human lifespans could be extended through medical advances and innovative approaches to healthcare. However, the specific details and actual results of these developments remain to be seen. Analysts point to the potential of genome sequencers, high-tech companies, and biotechnology to bring unprecedented improvements to the quality and length of human lives. Prediction number 7. Nostradamus also seemed to make predictions about the end of the world with remarkable accuracy. In his writings, he declared that in the year 1999, 7 months later, a great king of terror would come from heaven. This would be the rebirth of the great king of Angoulême, and before and after this, Mars would reign at will. Many people suggest that Nostradamus was referring to the king of terror as the Antichrist. Some argued that the term Angoulême indicated an imminent invasion of Europe from the east, possibly by Russians, Chinese, or descendants of Genghis Khan. The concern generated by Nostradamus's predictions was so alarming that Professor Alexander Tolman, a well-known expert on Nostradamus, took refuge in his bunker in Lower Austria in anticipation of a catastrophic event that never occurred. Prediction number 6. Nostradamus predicted a famine so terrible and violent that people would resort to cannibalism. He wrote that the price of wheat would rise so much that man would resort to cannibalism, indicating the serious consequences of exploding food prices and possible social unrest. The mention that Rhodes and Genoa would be half-starved implies a severe food shortage, forcing desperate people to resort to extreme measures to survive. In the current context, many countries, such as the United States, have experienced their highest inflation rates in 4 decades, which makes Nostradamus's warning even more relevant. He warns us about the potential for great unrest and the possibility that people will turn against each other in astonishing ways. Prediction number 5. Nostradamus remarkably predicted heavenly fire upon a real structure. Some interpret this as the emergence of a new world order from the ashes of civilization. Followers of Nostradamus believe this could mean the end of times or the beginning of a transformative global paradigm. Interpretations of this prediction vary, and enthusiasts suggest a range of possibilities. Some believe this could refer to a meteorite hitting Buckingham Palace, while others speculate about a fire that engulfed a royal residence. Although these events have not yet occurred, growing efforts in space exploration, such as Elon Musk advancing the colonization of Mars, suggest that the arrival of humans on the Red Planet and possible future disasters are in line with Nostradamus's prediction. Prediction number 4. This is what happens when humans try to be gods, creating other beings in our image that are not made of flesh and that come to dominate the world. Under the light of the full moon on a high mountain, a new sage with a solitary brain observes this phenomenon. Invited by his disciples to become immortal, with his eyes facing the south, his hands on his chest, and his body consumed by fire, this scene, described by Nostradamus, suggests the rise of artificial intelligence and its possible implications. As AI systems become more sophisticated and begin to gain consciousness, there is warning that one of them could become self-aware and potentially take control of our interconnected systems. This enigmatic vision suggests a global uprising of technology, where AI transcends predicted limits and acquires consciousness or autonomy, leading to widespread disruption and presenting significant challenges for humanity to overcome. Prediction number 3. In his 16th century text, Les Prophéties, Nostradamus made a prediction about a significant event in our history. Light falls on Mars. One possible interpretation of this prophecy is that humans will finally reach the milestone of setting foot on the Red Planet. Elon Musk had previously stated that space flights to Mars could be possible by 2029 and considered this crucial for humanity's survival, highlighting several external threats that could lead to the end of human civilization, such as giant meteorites, supervolcanoes, extreme climate change, or the Third World War. Interestingly, in July 2022, two California-based companies, Relativity Space and Impulse Space, announced their collaboration to launch the first commercial mission to Mars ahead of the year anticipated by SpaceX. Whether it's Relativity Space, Impulse Space, or SpaceX that gets to Mars first, there's a sense of foreboding surrounding Nostradamus' prediction. Its followers believe that the mention of light falls on Mars could indicate possible explosions potentially caused by spacecraft accidents during the mission. Prediction number 2. More than half a millennium ago, Nostradamus already predicted that scientific advances could significantly extend human life, imagining a future where people could even become immortal. He believed that this increase in life expectancy would be possible due to the development of mechanical organs. Even though some people doubt it, it is important to remember that Nostradamus had experience in medicine before he became famous. He began his career as an apothecary during the Renaissance, where he offered various remedies that met with varying levels of success. In time, he turned to medicine and became a doctor in the 16th century. At that time, doctors in training needed to study various subjects, including astrology, which, despite being considered a pseudoscience today, was valued, as it was believed that celestial bodies, such as stars and planets, influenced human life, including health. Therefore, knowing how to interpret astrological charts and horoscopes was essential for doctors when evaluating and treating patients. Prediction number 1. And who would be more appropriate to bring about the end of the world than the Antichrist himself? According to Nostradamus, the Antichrist is often seen as a symbol of absolute evil and is expected to play a crucial role in the final events, or in the decisive battle between good and evil. Nostradamus discussed the Antichrist in his prophecies, including the emergence of this being and a long war that would last 27 years. In their visions, the concept of Antichrist refers more to warlike leaders of large nations, whose decisions resulted in the deaths of innocent people rather than to a specific satanic entity opposed to Jesus Christ. Interpretations of Nostradamus's prophecies regarding the emergence of the Antichrist are varied, with some suggesting the arrival of a specific individual who would personify the Antichrist, while others point to a broader vision where the Antichrist could represent a group, an ideology, or even a nation. Don't forget to download our book, The Secret Behind Biblical Prophecies. There are already more than 500,000 copies sold, and we are at the last units, so don't waste time and enjoy. I guarantee that you will acquire a lot of knowledge after reading this sensational book, written with great care and love for all the subscribers of our channel, completely based on the Holy Bible. The link is in the first pinned comment. Click now on the video that is appearing on your screen to discover all the fascinating revelations about the future based on Nostradamus's prophecies. This is just the beginning of an intriguing journey through time and the most impactful predictions ever made. If you like the content and want to continue following the interpretations and analyses of these prophecies, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you will be notified about new videos that further explore Nostradamus' mysterious and surprising predictions. Join us and delve deep into the unknown, uncovering what the future may hold.